This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Get real.
No. Y'all, just stop.
This is a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to a very special edition of DBL. Today we are celebrating and honoring moms. Yes, we are. We all know that every woman's path to motherhood is different, but our next story shows just how similar they can be as well. Before we chat with our next guest, let's take a look at their incredible journey.
Say bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Life before I met Shariah, I have 5 boys, and they are all various ages, just living my life as a single mom of 5 boys. I've been a nurse for 23 years, almost 24. All of those years I have done NICU.
So when I found out that I was pregnant, I found out at 3 months because I was kind of in denial. There was so many indicators I should have known, but I just ignored it because I didn't want to be a mom. Not only am I going to be a teen mom, but I'm going to be a teen mom of 3.
She literally only had like 3 weeks to process that there was 3 babies inside of her, and then they were born, and here they are all 1.5 pounds and sick. They're 14 weeks early.
No, I didn't get to hold them after I had them. Like, I didn't even see them.
She would come and stay at the hospital for a couple of days at a time, and no one was ever with her. I was kind of forcing her to do things with them because she was scared of them.
I really didn't like her. Like, I thought she was rude. She had such a strong voice.
Obviously, we didn't relate on like a woman-to-woman level, but we did relate on the fact that I was a teen mom and she was a teen mom. The babies were in the hospital for 4 to 5 months. So over that amount of time, we just kind of grew close. When she left that last day, she left me a note with her phone number that said, "Keep in touch."
Wow. To tell us what happened next, please welcome to the show Shariah Small and nurse Katrina Morris.
Shariah, you gonna be okay? I was watching you watch yourself on that clip. You're gonna be all right for this? Beautiful story. Don't be nervous. This is so great. Katrina, after the babies went home, you ladies kept texting each other. Tell me why.
I gave her my phone number and she gave me hers. And I basically just wanted to be an extra layer of support for her and be able to follow her and the babies as they grew. And we just started texting, FaceTiming all hours of the day and night, every single day, over several months. And then we just continued to get closer as time went on.
I am very emotional. People,
bless you. Yeah.
what a blessing. What a true blessing you guys are to each other. How did, Katrina, I want to ask you, how did the 4 of them end up at your house?
So as time went on and we communicated more, Samari started having some health problems, and he ended up having to get admitted back to the hospital for some weight loss and trouble with his milk. He had a feeding tube because he couldn't eat by mouth. So when that happened, DCS got involved and they contacted me because I was babysitting the girls for her so she could be at the hospital with him. And basically DCS just told me that they were going to be removed from the custody of the home that they were in, and they were going to look for a foster home or multiple foster homes to place them in. But Shariah had told the caseworker that she wanted to come live with me. So I, in about 5 seconds of thought, said, I'll take them.
Oh my gosh.
And that was as far as I thought, because I did not want her after 5 months in the NICU with these tiny babies who were now, 7 months old. I did not want her to have to be separated from them. So I just said I would take them, even though I still had kids at home, and I wanted her to be able to stay with them wherever she was.
Wow. And for them to stay together. Do you get knocked on the head with your halo when you walk through doorways? You angel? Is that what happens? Shariah, you beautiful thing. I wanted to ask you, you were just 14 when you had your babies. And I wanted to ask, why did you blurt out you're going to stay with Katrina? What was that for you? Did you just know?
Well, with me and Katrina were talking like prior to that. She was talking about me and the babies having stability and always having somewhere to stay. So I knew if me and the babies came here, then we would have extra stability. I would have extra support and extra help. So that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to come and stay with her.
Cutie. I know. Unbelievable. Katrina, what is the best lesson that you have learned from each other?
With this whole situation, I have learned that it will always work out. And sometimes you just need to not overthink things. Just think with your heart and lead with love, and everything will work out in the end.
Wow. Shrai, you were officially adopted by Katrina. Where do you go from here?
Well, after being adopted by Katrina, well, first of all, I wanted to say that after being adopted, it does not feel any different. It just felt like a normal day for me.
Yep.
And after getting adopted, I already finished high school, so I'm planning on going to college and getting a good job and just living a full, healthy life.
Good for you.
Yes.
Good for you, girl.
That's
and you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. With that right support. That's right.
I know. I think we're all a little bit speechless here.
I mean, you just see the way that things could happen and the way that things could go. And I, have been a part of the child welfare system like advocating. And this is just a beautiful story that can give so many people hope and encouragement, and it just makes me so proud and happy for both of y'all, for the whole family, because you got five boys.
A lot of kids.
There's a lot going on.
Oh, man.
That is a family,
Yeah,
y'all.
2 of them are grown, so we just are a big, crazy house. We have a loud house every day.
Beautiful. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you. We'll be right back. Thank you. My mother calls me chicken, so I call her Mama Hen. So I would tell my mom that I don't think I've ever seen such an act of bravery in one human, ever. I have a memory that sums up my mom really well. I was Macbeth, and my mom came to see every performance, and she even had her IV pole, and her walking with her IV pole. I'm gonna see the art, I'm gonna appreciate and love my kid, and I don't care if I'm medically incapable of doing so, I'm gonna find a seat. And she did, and that sums her up perfectly. I mean, I go in your house and you have a lot of hip hop memorabilia.
Yes.
It's not original, but if you were... Wow. Do you want to move on?
The chicken has come to bite the pig in the butt.
I need a bumper sticker made out of that. We need to see Al or Jeff doing some exercises.
Real fast, watch this.
Can you do this? Oh my God.
Summer is here, and that means your family might go swimming in lakes or rivers to beat the heat. And yes, your pets too.
But before you or your pet jump in, listen up.
State officials and pet owners have issued warnings over the years about blue-green algae blooms after dogs died from suspected poisoning. So let's verify. Is some blue-green algae toxic to pets? Our sources are the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Washington State Department of Health, the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency, and VCA Animal Hospitals. If you see a body of water that appears to have green paint or pea soup floating on top, that is likely cyanobacteria, also known as blue-green algae. It usually blooms in the summer and early fall. Most blue-green algae blooms are not harmful, but some can produce toxins that can be deadly to pets. The Minnesota Pollution Control Agency says blue-green algae blooms can lead to poisoning in pets if they drink from or swim in contaminated water sources. Dogs can also ingest the algae by licking it off of their fur after a swim. The CDC says animals can die within hours to days of swallowing those toxins. So we can verify, yes, some blue-green algae is toxic to pets.
So how can you tell if a blue-green algae bloom is toxic? You can't.
VCA Animal Hospitals say it's impossible to tell whether a bloom contains toxins just by looking at it, and that all blue-green algae blooms should be considered toxic until proven otherwise. So be vigilant. Don't allow pets to drink from water that has bluish-green scum on the surface or around the edges. And if you think your pet swam in water with blue-green algae, make sure to rinse them thoroughly with clean water afterward and contact a vet immediately.
Those blooms can also affect you.
Our sources say exposure to high levels of blue-green algae and their toxins can cause diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, skin irritation, and difficulty breathing in humans.
With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
Welcome back. As a little girl, Deborah Hiley's travels included trips with her own mother to Africa and Europe, followed by adventures abroad with her best friend in college. Now she's sharing the world with her new travel buddy, her 10-year-old son, Jonah. They're writing books about traveling the world, and today they are joining us live. Deborah and Jonah, thank you.
Yeah, guys.
Mom goals right now.
I mean, I can't. Your little face, Jonah, how excited you were watching that. I love it. This is my favorite. Deborah, as a busy working mom, how did you end up taking Jonah on his first international trip at just 18 months old? My kids are 6 and 4. I want to take them international, but I don't think I'm ready yet. Or are they?
Yeah, so we decided to go because, again, that travel bug was already inside of me from my mom. And then I decided to pass it on to my son when he was 18 months old. We went to Dominican Republic, and that came because I was burnt out with work, and I was in grad school, and I decided, why not go take this mini me to an adventure? And it was scary at first, but it ended up being just the most amazing experience, and just continued on from there.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
The wanderlust that they have is so special. Jonah, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Good. Let me ask you a quick question, sir. Out of the 13 countries you visited so far, which is incredible, do you have a favorite?
Yes.
Which one?
Which one's top 3? He always says top 3.
Top 3. Give me top 3, Jonah.
So my number 3 is Cuba. I love Cuba. It was so much fun. We went horseback riding for like 6 hours.
Oh my gosh, cutie. Look at him. We got pictures. Wow.
And then which one is it?
My second favorite is Eritrea, which is our home country in Northeast Africa, and I love it.
Wow. Yes.
Number 1.
And my number 1
Drum roll.
favorite is Thailand.
Drum roll.
Incredible. Oh my gosh, you guys should be on every television everywhere.
I know.
Deborah, what are some of the things you do to stay safe when you travel? Because obviously traveling alone as a woman is one thing, but with your child, what are some tips you have?
Yeah, so I would say traveling the world is always exciting, but definitely safety is number 1. So I always try to stay in an area where it's central. So I know that there's restaurants and other places to go to. If there is anything that I need to watch out for, I always have my phone on. I inform my family where I'm going, exactly where we're staying. And then sometimes you don't have connection, because we stayed on an island in Thailand and we didn't have any connection. So in those times, you have to always make sure you give the information of the hotel or the resort you're staying in to your family. And then I always try to stay at resorts as well that is populated with people, kids. I try to do my research to make sure the areas that we're going and also the places we're staying at are just completely safe for us. And then I try to also make sure to give him tips, right? Just in case we get separated. Hey, what's our meeting location? He knows the hotel and everything else. And then we do adventures. We go to, excursions. We come back, and sometimes we're just exhausted and we want to make sure we are staying by a restaurant, or so we're not going too far late at nighttime. Then it's just walking distance, or we just order room service. So
Great advice. I'm looking at your children's books. I mean, Deborah, unbelievable. So what inspired you to write children's books with Jonah?
So we started, our first book is this one, the Thailand book, basically. And we decided to write that one because everyone kept asking me, how are you doing it? Just like your first question, 18 months, how'd you do it? Oh, he's 2 and now he's 3 and now you're going to the other side of the world, not just to like Mexico or Bahamas, because they're right here, close by. So I decided to write books to expose children, but also parents. Like, it's okay to take your children to the rest of the world. We always live in this bubble in the US.
Right.
So taking them out and just saying, explore the world with your kids. So our books are one way to show your kids where to explore. Oh, Thailand. Oh, we can go spend the day with elephants. Oh, in Cuba, we can go ahead and do, horseback riding, like Jonah stated, go to the beach and do other things. So it's more to kind of, have that, it's okay, it's safe, it's also doable to go with your children. And our books kind of state that for us.
And to expand the horizons. Unbelievable. I can't wait to read these to my kids. Deborah and Jonah, thank you. DBL Nation, you can pick up copies of Deborah and Jonah's latest books, including Filling My Pockets with Nakfa and Eritrea, and Basketball or Soccer. Please, or also keep up with their travels by tuning into their Global Footprint Stories podcast. And for more information, you can also visit tinyglobalfootprints.com. Thank you again, both of you.
Thank you so much for having us. Have a great day.
Happy
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Bye.
My mom has never given me bad advice. When I called her and I told her I was gonna stop pursuing medicine and go into stand-up comedy, and she just said, great, do it. I always thought you were funny. You took a kid that lacked self-confidence, had no direction, ADHD, and you kept me afloat long enough until I could figure it out. I love you.
Most of us have probably heard 8 glasses a day is the optimal amount of water to drink to stay hydrated, which is important for all sorts of bodily functions. That equals 64 ounces, or a half a gallon. Is that too much? Not enough? Just right? We checked in with several sources here to verify. The CDC actually doesn't have a blanket recommendation for how much plain water people should drink every day because it could be different based on your diet, activity, body composition, and other things. Penn Medicine and other experts will often share a general goal. Take half your body weight and drink that many ounces of water per day. For example, if you're 120 pounds, drinking 60 ounces of water per day should keep you well hydrated in most conditions. But if it's humid and you're sweating, if your diet doesn't include a lot of water-dense foods, if you don't get enough sleep, if you have heart or kidney problems, if you're very active, that might not be enough. The best way to determine how much water you need is to pay attention to signs your body isn't hydrated enough. Kaiser Permanente says one of the easiest ways to gauge this is to check the color of your urine. Clear or light yellow is good. Darker could be a sign of dehydration. Other symptoms include not urinating often, bad breath, dry mouth, sluggishness or fatigue, and sugar cravings. You have to drink a lot of water for it to be too much water, and the CDC found most of us actually drink far too little. So while it's tricky to specify a specific exact amount of water any one person should drink, setting up some kind of goal, maybe with the help of a big water bottle like this one, could help with the overall goal of staying hydrated. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
Welcome back. We love celebrating our mothers here at DBL, but not everyone is fortunate enough to still have their mom around. Our next guest, Charlene Lamb, had her life turned upside down 10 years ago. Take a look.
My mom and I both love dancing. When I go home to visit her, we might go to a Broadway show or to the ballet. Everything changed when my mother died. I tried to call her, but she didn't pick up. A neighbor found her on the floor of her bedroom. She had died of a stroke. I felt like I'd been blindsided. Her death impacted all areas of my life. You can't really understand this kind of grief until you've experienced this kind of significant loss.
I'm sorry, I'm catching my breath. That was really emotional. That significant loss changed everything, and she's here to talk us through the process of losing a mother and how to cope. Please welcome to the show, grief coach Charlene Lamb. Thank you.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm ready to talk about my mom.
Yeah, Charlene, thank you for being here and being so transparent with us, because this truly is a gift. How did you feel when you learned of your mother's passing?
It was very sudden, and it really did feel like I was in a movie scene. when you get a phone call and then your life changes forever. And after the initial kind of moment of shock, I think I just went numb. I didn't realize how much it would impact all aspects of my life, but I knew that there was now a before and an after my mother died.
Oh my goodness. And grief is not linear. How can friends and family show up for someone that lost their mother or is experiencing a different kind of loss?
Absolutely. And when we have these gatherings like Mother's Day, I really think it makes our the absence of the person that we miss so much stronger. So one, I think acknowledge that even though the mother or the significant person in their life isn't physically here anymore, they are still very much present for the person, whether it's in our memories or in the influences in our lives. So invite them to share. Ask their mother's name. Ask them to share a memory if they would like to. Let them know that you are here to listen and then actually listen. Take the cue from them as to what's most supportive for them.
Oh man, I can't believe this. Very hard to do. We also heard you help those, I'm so excited to talk about this, with ambiguous losses, which is something that is a term that I've experienced with my own mother right now. Please explain, Charlene, what an ambiguous loss is and how those dealing with it can cope.
Yeah, I've loved hearing about your mom, Judy.
Wow.
There's so much love there, right? Yeah. Usually when we talk about loss and grief, we usually think about death-related loss. But there are actually so many kinds of loss and so many different kinds of grief. With ambiguous loss, the person is still alive, but we've lost them in other ways. Maybe due to estrangement, we're no longer in touch. Maybe due to illness, the person is no longer the mother that we knew growing up. And maybe the roles have changed. Maybe you are now the caregiver versus the child. So that can bring up so much. And I just want to validate that that is loss. These are losses, and that is real grief.
Wow. Well said.
Appreciate that.
Tori, we love you.
Love you guys.
Thank you, Charlene. Very powerful and important stuff. DBL Nation, make sure to check out Charlene's work and resources at charlenelamb.com. Thank you again, Charlene. We will be right back. Thank you.
Thank you.
There are few things I hate more than dodging mosquitoes when I'm trying to enjoy the summer sun. And there are a lot of them. More than 200 types of mosquitoes live in the U.S. and its territories, and 12 of them can carry diseases that make people sick, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Using these sources, we put together 3 facts about these buggers and tips on how to make yourself less of a target. Fact 1. Mosquitoes are the deadliest animals on Earth. While they don't maul, poison, or drown people like some other predators, mosquitoes do carry diseases like malaria, dengue fever, and Zika virus that kill an estimated 700,000 people per year worldwide, according to the CDC and the World Health Organization. While cases of those diseases are rare in the U.S., your best bet to protect yourself is to avoid getting bitten. Our tip? Use an EPA-registered insect repellent with active ingredients, such as DEET, picaridin, or oil of lemon eucalyptus. When you're inside, let's keep those buggers out by using screens on windows and doors, or using air conditioning if available. Fact 2. Mosquitoes are attracted to certain colors. Black, orange, and red are their favorite. According to Jeff Riffle, a biology professor at the University of Washington, when mosquitoes see red and orange, they associate that with human skin color. He says no matter what your skin tone or how dark or light you are, we are dominantly reflecting orange and red. So, when you're wearing a red or orange shirt, you've made yourself a bigger target. When mosquitoes see black clothes, they think they've found a shaded spot to rest. And then, our tip, avoid wearing black, red, and orange. Instead, opt for light-colored, loose-fitting clothing with long sleeves and pants. Fact 3. Mosquitoes are more attracted to a specific blood type. There are 4 major blood groups, A, B, AB, and O.
Folks with O-type blood tend to be preferred hosts for mosquitoes, and those who are type A are least preferred among the blood types.
In addition to having type O blood, there are other factors that can attract mosquitoes, including sweating, drinking alcohol, and higher body temperatures. Our tip? While you can't change your blood type, you can change what you do while you're outside. So, limit alcohol consumption and excessive sweating as much as possible. We have even more facts about mosquitoes and tips to keep them away on our website. Just scan this QR code to read the article. With your Verify and a renewed hope that I won't be covered in bug bites this summer, I'm Ariande Till. Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter helps you distinguish between true and false information by answering your questions. It provides fast facts on trending topics, spotlights major stories, and even includes a daily fun fact for all those trivia buffs out there. Get Verify's fast facts delivered every weekday to your email inbox. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out. Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter answers your questions, clarifies what's true and false, and even includes a daily fun fact. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
Welcome back. Well, today's been an emotional day, yes, and we are really feeling the love from all the moms out there. But before we go, we want to tell our DBL Nation why Al Jackson isn't on the show today. He's actually with his mom. There she is, Dr. Jackie, getting married, looking fabulous. They are glowing. Also, his sister in the photo. Well, Al sent us these photos to share with you all, the DBL Nation. So congrats to her, to Al, and to the whole family. What are you thinking, Erica?
First of all, Dr. Jackie looks like the queen that she is on her wedding day, and the babies are around her. It's just too much. It's too much.
And he's beaming.
I just seen Al with his mom, and Al lately is just,
he's going
to give a speech, and I'm glad I'm not there in a way because it's going to be very emotional.
Oh, his speech is going to be, it's going to make everybody cry.
We're going to be laughing, they're going to be crying.
Yeah.
And I think Al has a little of a lightness to him lately, and it's a really lovely sparkle, a joie de vivre, and it's lovely to see.
A what?
A joy of life.
Say the other way.
Joie de vivre.
We all had great things to say, and you kind of brought it down.
Thank you so much, Sam.
I asked you what that word was because I hope to repeat it.
Oh, that's lovely.
In what situation?
Joie de vivre.
Joie de vivre.
You're going to insult somebody and get canceled.
We'll see you same time, same place. Bye, everyone.
Oh.